I remember I was doing a series on farming last year on my
YouTube.
Yes. I found it was Kojo Akoto Boateng who I interviewed first, and then he connected me to other farmers. There's this guy who is rearing rams. Yeah, he brings these rams from Senegal. Huge. They are like almost like mini horses. He's trying to improve the stock of rams in Ghana. There's another guy who's doing chickens. He's a part-time farmer. He does 9 to 5 somewhere in Tema, and then he has this huge chicken farm, and he's doing great stuff. Those stories show that it is possible to do things in Ghana. You don't have to run away. You don't have to cross the desert. You don't have to think of the American dream. We can build our own dream here, which we all relate to. So it's really important to tell those stories. Look for the positives. There's negativity, but there's also positivity.
Hello and welcome to Springboard, your virtual university. My name is Albert Okran. Welcoming you to Ghana's foremost developmental program and that place where the greatest minds in the world converge. Springboard is brought to you by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with MTN Ghana, the Enterprise Group, and the Ghana Growth Program, a collaboration between Mastercard Foundation and Springboard. Our media partners, Joy 99.7 FM, Joy News TV, and the Graphic Communications Group. Today we fire on in our quest to change the narrative. We've been exploring conversations with people who are writing a different story about Ghana. It's simple. The thesis is very simple. Many people spend their time, ink, effort, and their pages on social media talking about the failings and the disappointments of this country. Others choose to shine the light on what is beautiful, what is great, what is possible in this country. So we've devoted the series to fishing out those people who are telling a different story about this country and challenging us to do that with them. And it was easy to find a good candidate in our friend. You know, there's a song that says, stand up for the champions. In terms of those who've traveled around the country with, this is by far the one who has covered the greatest mileage with us on the Springboard Roadshow over the past years. We've done that since 2007. And unanimously, we know here that he's covered the most mileage. He's a broadcast journalist. He hosts the GTV breakfast show. He is an event host, and he is the one and only Kafui Day. Kafui,
Rev,
it's a blessing.
I don't know the last time I saw you, but I'm always excited to see you.
It is a blessing.
It's a blessing.
Indeed,
I agree. 100%.
Indeed.
Yeah.
How are you? How's the family? How's everything going?
Everybody's doing well. Family is great. Work is good. I'm happy to be alive. Blessed, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So tell me, what have you been up to?
So we just did our 1,000th episode of the GTV Breakfast Show on the 30th of May. So that was a big milestone, almost 4 years. And between the last time I saw you and now, I've been doing an interesting project on YouTube. So I'm a podcaster now, so I do interviews with interesting people, and that's going pretty well. And happy to be doing the things that I do at home, at work, by myself. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Today is also the Father's Day, so we'll veer into fatherhood a bit.
Sure.
And talk about a subject I know you are very passionate about.
Definitely.
But let's start with your advocacy, with your broadcasting, with your storytelling. Mm-hmm. And this whole series about changing the narrative about Ghana.
Yeah.
What's your perspective on this conversation about changing narratives?
It's important. The same old stories cannot give you different results or new results. So we've got to have new perspectives. And I see myself as an interviewer, above all. And interviewers, their job is to get the stories out of people by asking the right questions, listening to whatever is coming out, and then just following up. I do remember a couple of years back, I think 2022, I traveled to the Western region. On the way back, I decided to go down the Beposo Bridge into the Pra to fetch some of the water. I fetched that water, brought it to the studio. My people took a picture of it, and the thing just blew up.
It's one of the reasons why I'm here.
It blew up, and I couldn't even believe it. I mean, I thought it was pretty obvious that galamsey was that bad, But just the symbolism of this water, yellow water, in a bottle on my desk every day. Up until now, we still have the bottle on our desk because nothing has changed, really, And it brought the message home to people. And I think that bottle was like a story on its own, It just brought... Because you have the statistics, babies are being deformed, there's lead in the water. But when you see the bottle, you realize that, hey, this thing it's not a joke. This is real. And water has no substitute.
What does that mean to you, the picture of the bottle?
Yes.
It means different things to different people. To the farmers in the communities, to the people who do the galamsey, to the people who manage our water. What does it mean to you, Kafui?
See, that bottle means that in some communities, people are bathing with sachet water. They're cooking with sachet water. That bottle also means that some people are making a lot of money by poisoning our waters. That bottle also means that this is an emergency and something has to be done, and quickly, And I know that human beings think in pictures. So you can talk all you want about galamsey, but once you put the picture there, that picture stays in your head. And it worked. It got people talking.
How powerful is imagery, iconography, photography, symbolism? How powerful is it in communication? I know you have a master's in journalism.
Absolutely powerful.
How powerful is imagery?
It's because human beings we don't think in words. We don't think in sounds. We think in images. If I say, "What did you have for breakfast?" and you say, "I had brown bread with egg." In my mind, although I wasn't at your breakfast table, I know what the bread looks like. I know what the egg looks like. We think in pictures.
Why do you close your eyes?
Because I was imagining what you're eating for breakfast.
Are you by any chance thinking of brown bread?
It was brown bread. I was just thinking about it, And by the way, I think better when my eyes are closed. So sometimes I go to a public fora and I'm sitting down there, maybe in the front, because I like to sit in the front, and my eyes are closed, and they think the guy is thinking. No, the guy is thinking.
Wow.
I'm trying to concentrate. My eyes are closed, and I'm picturing what is being said. Yeah. No. So images are crucial. We learned how to speak looking at pictures of dog and cat and all that stuff. So, and we're in a very digital world, a very visual world these days. There are people who tell stories just through pictures, no words. A picture says more than 1,000 words. And the more you can make your message visual, the more people will connect with it. Even if they don't speak the language that you speak, just a visual representation is much more powerful than any words you say.
You mentioned story. And you've mentioned it a couple of times in this conversation. How powerful is the narrative? How powerful is storytelling in this whole developmental journey? As a people, as a nation, how powerful is storytelling?
It's everything. People are willing to pay $10,000 to a connection man to give them a visa to go to America. Why? Based on the stories that they've seen on TV or in film or in cartoons, movies, whatever. That's that story. That's the lure. The American dream is just a story that lures people over to that country. They tell you that, and they tell their own people we are the greatest country in the world. It's a story, and they believe it. They buy it. So the story is the message. If you look at the Bible, the most powerful stories in the Bible are the parables, and they're all very visual. There's a lamb. You can picture the lamb, the son who squandered his father's fortune. You can picture all of that. And all those...
And relatable.
Yes, they're all relatable. So the stories, I believe in simplicity of message. If you were a lawyer, I wouldn't call you a legal practitioner, I'll call you a lawyer.
You've written extensively about emceeing, about books, about communication. So, I mean, I was going to come to the fact that what would you call great content? What would you call the ideal content in a storytelling journey? It's simplicity.
It's a story that is visual.
Okay.
You can imagine that story.
Okay.
And this is a hack I use when I'm using ChatGPT. When I'm trying to break down, let's say, quantum physics, I would say, I'll type in, I don't know anything about quantum physics. Please give me a breakdown of quantum physics in the language of an intelligent 15-year-old.
Wow.
And the reason I say intelligent 15-year-old is my son. My son is 15. If you can give me a description or an explanation that my son can understand, everybody can understand. Wow. Because most people in the world have a junior high school education. And if you're 15, you probably would have had a junior high education. So I like to break things down. My first book, How to MC Any Event, for which you wrote the foreword, thank you so much. I wrote it with my children in mind, that they should be able to read this book. At that age, the eldest was 9 years old. You should be able to read it. So for me, great communication is simple communication. Don't show off. I'm surprised about the number of people who have PhDs and don't even put it in front of their names. You know, they're learned, but they speak very simply to get a lot of people to understand them. It's about understanding, it's not about showing off. So good content must be simple, it must be visual, it must be relatable, and people must understand it without reaching for a dictionary.
So ultimately, what for you would be a good story? What is the measure of a good story for you?
For me, a good story is, it must have and you see, because of the work I do, I must be able to tell a story in a minute, maybe as part of my intro. So there must be definitely a beginning, middle, end, and then a lesson out of the story. There must always be a lesson out of it. You don't just tell a story which doesn't have any connection to what the whole meeting is about. Yeah. So beginning, middle, end, lesson. Good story. Simple.
So the beginning is that we want to paint a picture of a Ghana that is beautiful.
Yes.
The middle is that we are getting people like you to help tell that story.
Through the struggles.
And the end is that by the time these stories are told, people will be more optimistic about this country.
Have a good feeling about the country. Not want to run away and leave.
That's it. In 30 seconds.
Yes, that's it.
So now you know the story.
That's it.
So tell me, how can we harness what people like you are doing with your YouTube channel, with your imagery on your show, to reorient people? Because until people believe in the country that they are in, they've checked out. They're here, but they've checked out. Mentally, everything that they do is not...
Physically here, they're here, but mentally they're somewhere else.
How do we get us to be present in our contribution to building this nation?
I remember the words of a really dear, I'd say uncle of mine, Professor Atukwe Okai, the wonderful.
He was such a big person.
Had a way with words also.
And then he would say his poem and he would do this before he said
it. Oh, man.
Wave his hand in a certain way as if he was catching the revelation. Prof was just such a sweet guy.
He was great. He was my good friend to my parents. And I used to meet him at Koala Supermarket in Osu. And anytime I finish engaging with him, he says, give them hope. Leave them with hope. So give people hope. It cannot be all depressing.
You know the mantra for Ghana Grows, Hope Day.
Hope Day.
Yeah, we've been doing hope all our years.
Hope Day. 2 words, simple.
Yeah, hope.
And everybody in Ghana can understand it.
Yeah.
Give them hope. Give them. So I think we have to look for the good stories and then broadcast them. I remember I was doing a series on farming last year on my YouTube.
Yeah.
Yes. I found it's Kojo Akoto Boateng who I interviewed first, and then he connected me to other farmers. There's this guy who's rearing rams. Yeah, he brings these rams from Senegal. Huge. They are almost like mini horses. And he's trying to improve the stock of rams in Ghana. There's another guy who's doing chickens. He's a part-time farmer. He does 9 to 5 somewhere in Tema, and then he has this huge chicken farm, and he's doing great stuff. Those stories show that it is possible to do things in Ghana. You don't have to run away. You don't have to cross the desert. You don't have to think of the American dream. We can build our own dream here, which we'll all relate to. So it's really important to tell those stories. Look for the positives. There's negativity, but there's also positivity.
Someone accused me of, not accused me, but asked me, you are always optimistic, always highlighting the good about this country. Yes. Don't you see the wrong? And I said, there are enough people telling that story.
There are too many messages there.
There's just enough of
too many.
That. So let me just take the other side.
Just tune in on the radio.
It's a road less traveled.
Exactly. Just tune in. Radio, television, every day you hear everything that is wrong. And then you get people who tell you the stuff that is positive. And we want to gravitate towards the positive. It's better for us even health-wise.
Yeah. So let's stay with agric, which is something we've been doing for the past couple of years in our third year on the program, just trying to showcase what is possible. And in the work that you have done, when you put out a story about what somebody is doing, how's the response like?
The poultry farmer has been the craziest response. He's called Ernest Latte. He's doing this poultry farm. We put the video there, we think about it, nothing about it. And then I'm starting to get messages. And not only from Ghanaians. You have somebody in Canada says, I'm coming back to Ghana, I want to go into poultry farming. A lot of them were thinking, I was a farmer. I said, no, I'm not a farmer. I only interviewed the farmer. You know? So I connect him to them from Congo, from Ethiopia, from Guinea, from the UK, Canada. People are following. And they say, okay, there's a business in this thing. When I spoke to Latte, he said, when he started his poultry farm, there was nowhere he went where they said, this is how to start a poultry farm. Do this, do this. He kind of learned everything on YouTube, which is great. And then from personal experience. So now he has almost like a playbook. And so people now want to learn from him. So I was suggesting to him, you know what? Just once a week, do a Zoom.
Yeah.
Do a Zoom introduction to poultry. I will manage a Zoom for you.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll manage it for you.
But there's an increasing number of people, and this is something that we discovered in Kenya, but there's an increasing number of people who are building communication and tourism adjacencies around learning experiences, communication experiences, even tourist experiences around the agribusiness ventures that we do. Kenya is top of it in terms of tourism. I mean, we did Young Innovators Awards at the Agrofusion Festival last year. Agrofusion is our version of Farmers Day.
Okay.
Our simple message is that the National Farmers Day has the adults.
Yes.
Our program is for young people. So we created our own young people's version of Farmers Day, and we just give them awards.
Great.
And
I love the name, by the way.
Yeah, Agrofusion.
I love it.
It's too nice. It was packed with the musicians and everything. We did a great show.
I like it.
So the winners were sent to Kenya.
Nice.
And when they went to Kenya, they visited. So we had one winner for agribusiness, one winner for agriculture, and the one winner for the ATV sector. Okay. And these went to Kenya, and everywhere they went, the persons doing the business, the farm. So there's a tea farm. Mm-hmm. Then there's a tea manufacturing next to it. And just going there is a paid tour.
Yes.
So you tour the farm, you go to the factory.
Learn the process.
Learn the process. You can actually select your teas and they'll blend it for you. And it's part of the experience. And then you pay for it. Look.
I'm glad you're saying this, But 15, 20 years ago, I went to Amsterdam when I was in my shipping days. We went on a tour of travel agencies that had done good business with KLM. So they took us there. The first place we went to was a gold refinery.
Yes.
The first thing they said when we entered there was that we use the best gold in the world. Guess where the gold comes from?
And it's from
Ghana. Then we went through the process, and the whole place, we came out through a shop where we had to buy stuff and send back home. Then the next stop was a chocolate factory. The first thing they said was, guess where we get our best chocolate beans from? Ghana.
Charlie, you're standing there, you're asking Charlie, and you yourself, you're from where?
Ghana. And we went through the thing. We came up through a shop. We bought our souvenirs and we left. And I said, the same thing. We should replicate these things here with our kente and so many things we can do here that people would be interested in and get that experience, fuse the tourism with the agro or whatever, textiles or whatever factory. I think it's a good idea.
Yes. So they try to extend the value chain beyond the primary production to create experiences. And because it is tourist oriented, they built the transport system like that. They built their payment systems like that, and they are
seamless.
You just will want to see. When you see anyone's pictures, you want to be there yourself and experience it.
It's experiential, you see.
Yeah. We've not done enough in terms of non-natural tourism.
Yeah.
We are so blessed with the natural one. I mean,
it's not funny.
There's been some big conversations about the Volta region, one of my favorite tourist destinations. Anyway, locally, next to my home region.
That's there.
I can tell you that in many other countries, their tourist destinations are man-made.
Yeah, you create them.
They're not even blessed with the natural one that we have. They create them.
You create them.
Including Sun City, a beach on top of a mountain.
Yeah, why not? And all that stuff in Dubai, oceans in the desert. It's all created. Yeah,
they created.
I think we should create.
Yeah. Let's talk about your. You made quite some noise about tourist destinations and so on. Let's talk about that. That Greek one is so relatable and so real.
It was wonderful.
And so the uptick mainly is about people wanting to go into the ventures and asking questions.
Yes, because they don't have a manual on how to enter. Because a lot of people. So when I went to visit Mr. Latte after the interview, I was there when he was showing somebody around the farm who had seen the video and had flown in from the UK to come and just see for himself.
And come and learn.
Yes.
Wow.
So yeah, it's
And
potential
these
there.
people are doing YouTube's videos of what they are doing, and they are getting traction.
Definitely. YouTube is like the biggest university around for good knowledge, depending on what you look for.
Yeah. So let's talk about connecting all that we do to tourism.
Yes.
To tourism. How do we, from where you sit, how can we leverage all this to make it a point of attraction?
You said that we focus a lot on what is already there. I think we should start creating experiences. There was one of the presidential candidates in last year's election, who said that one of his dreams was to pave maybe a kilometer of some area in gold, and just get people to come and just walk on it as part of our whole gold thing. A lot of people haven't seen gold bars before, even in Ghana here. A lot of people don't even know how chocolate is made. I know some chocolate farms where cocoa farms where it's cocoa farm, it's a processing plant, and then at the end, so you pay for the tour, and then you go through the whole process. You go to the farm, you meet the farmer, processing, it comes out as a bar, from bean to bar. So more of those experiences where people can see what is behind. I liken it to behind the scenes on the TV show. People are interested in what happens before we come on air, the makeup, what are you guys doing when there's a commercial break, all those things. So we should have all those behind the scenes things with our tourism. So you can find out what happens before you see what is, and then walk people through and charge them for it and make the t-shirts. I'm always surprised when I go to Kakum, I finish the tour, and there's no t-shirt which says, I survived the Kakum.
I made it.
I would have bought that t-shirt gladly and taken it to go and boast.
My last time at Afajatu, I was sad when I came back. I said, how much money did they make from me? 15 cedis. I felt, no, I could have done so much more. I wasn't even sure whether the money I paid
would go to the authorities,
to the actual authorities, or just to my tour guide.
What does it cost to make a model Afajatu that we can buy at the end of the tour?
Absolutely.
Some t-shirts, may have a video experience somewhere at the end. I don't know, Afajatu themed, so many things, t-shirts, caps.
Of all the experiences I've had, one of the ones that I found the most interesting was Madame Tussauds.
In the UK.
So yes, I went on a peak day, so the tour, the queue was long. And Kafui, I was just thinking of what they found a very easy way to stop any corruption or any hassle over this matter. At one point in the queue, they say where you've reached is an hour to the gate per hour calculation. Where you've reached, if you stay in the queue, it's an hour to get to the actual entrance. However, you can pay £20 more, and you open this door for you. You buy an extra ticket.
Fantastic.
At the time, hustle, bro, I stayed in the queue
for the one,
and I checked my watch, and I can tell you what they call in operations queuing analysis.
Yes,
Kafui, it took me 60 seconds, 60 minutes.
They had it down.
They had worked it out.
Yes.
It took me 60 minutes from where I had gotten to that they said an hour
to enter the room
to the entrance to Madame Tussauds.
Wow.
And just when I got there, the door opened and somebody came in. I said, this guy just arrived.
And it's £20.
Yeah, it's £20.
Yes.
How do we get the thing done?
But this is just mathematics, and
people will be willing to pay.
They will. So if you go to Afajatu and you come down and you pay only 15 Ghana cedis, it's crazy. We're leaving a lot of money on the table. We're leaving a lot of experiences. I like the paragliding thing in Kwewu because they used the mountains and then created an experience around it. And now people are flying in from all over the world.
Absolutely.
Yes, and we want to just shout out to Ferdinand Ayim of blessed memory. He was part of former Minister Jacob Obechi-Belante. They did a great job on that, and it's still here with us.
Yes.
So all these things can be worked on to just improve our tourism potential.
So it's man-made tourism.
We have to create,
not just hanging around the natural ones.
No, we're made in the image of our Creator, so we are supposed to create.
Create.
Yes,
that's the word.
That's our job.
Create.
Create.
This is Springboard, your virtual university. I'm creating a conversation with Kafui Day, my friend and brother. We've traveled around the country so many times. When I come back from this break, he'll tell you his experiences on the road. We'll talk about fatherhood, and then we'll talk about a new Ghana, one that we will just imagine in the studio. It doesn't matter that it doesn't exist, but we'll imagine it and see what will it take to build this kind of Ghana. If you If you think you like these themes, please don't go away. We're going to break. Springboard is brought to you by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with MTN Ghana, the Enterprise Group, and the Ghana Growth Program, a collaboration between Mastercard Foundation and Springboard. Our media partners, Joy 99.7 FM, Joy News TV, and Graphic. Please don't go away.
Good business means seeing the possibilities and maximizing opportunities. Making sure you have a responsive support system backs your business goals. A partner that gives you a stable platform with reliable connectivity and seamless solutions, and better understands the tools required to take you to the next level. With so many moving parts in running a business, we do our best to provide you with some stability. The only kind of stability you can find with MTN Business Broadband, the fastest and most reliable internet provider in Ghana, making sure you stay ahead and stay connected, because we understand what makes your business tick.
Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh or call or WhatsApp 0244 308 111.
MTN.
Whether it's 1924, 2024, or 2124, we've always known that you are driven by your sense of safety and well-being. It is what drives us to see you through from start to finish, from small to big. And in the last 100 years, as you have evolved, so have we also expanded to serve you in many ways. From cradle to grave, with expertise in insurance, life, pensions, properties, health, and for those beautiful, memorable goodbyes. It's 2024, and in all our markets, our pedigree is recognized, our strength respected, our expertise valued, and our solutions sought by all who desire an advantage in life. Experience the time-tested and truly trusted 100 years legacy of Ghana's oldest insurer. Take charge of your future now. Insurance, life, pensions, property management, funeral services, health insurance. Enterprise, for your advantage.
Learn something new every week and be inspired by innovations, impact, and success stories of individuals making strides in the agricultural, agribusiness, technical, and vocational skills sectors on Ghana Grows Ejuma with Arabo Kumsin and Yabitha. Join us this and every Thursday on Facebook at 7 p.m. at Ghana Grows, also at Comfort Okran A and at Albert N.E. Okran. On Fridays at 4 p.m. on Joy 99.7 FM and on Sundays at 5:45 p.m. on TV3. Ghana Grows is an initiative of Mastercard Foundation in partnership with the Springboard Roadshow Foundation. If you are a young person and you want to be a part of our various interventions, call or WhatsApp Ghana Grows call center on 0308 255 775. Follow us on all our social media handles. Ghana Grows Ejuma. Hope Day.
Welcome back to Springboard, your virtual university, and to this amazing conversation with my friend and brother Kafui Day, as we explore a new look at Ghana, changing the story, and also celebrate Father's Day together. Kafui is he's a main man here. He walks in any day and we can have a great conversation. He doesn't even need an intro. He's just his family.
Love it.
Here at Springboard.
Yes.
We've traveled with him across the country in different places. We'll unpack that very shortly. But Springboard is brought to you by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with MTN Ghana and the Enterprise Group. Our media partners, the Multimedia Group and the Graphic Communications Group. This is also done in partnership with the Ghana Growth Program, a collaboration between Mastercard Foundation and Springboard. Talking about that, if you are hearing amazing stories about young people, especially young women, venturing into agribusiness ventures as part of the exciting Ghana we are talking about, it's powered, among other things, by what we do on the Ghana Growth Program. And that's just about exciting young people that while it is great to do all the jobs that we were raised to aspire to do, there are real, beautiful, exciting career opportunities in these sectors: agriculture, agribusiness, and the ATVET sectors. So as our contribution, this program is throwing light on what is there, how you can be part of it, and where to look if you are looking for opportunities. So note this number as the call center or the customer service number for the Ghana Growth Program, and always ask, what should I do? How can I partake? How can I just venture into these sectors? So the number is 030-8255-775. And talking about that, if you are looking at an agri-business venture, to give a thumbs up to this week. So every single week, we highlight one business venture and say, buy from them. Just encourage them. We don't know them from anywhere. They just submitted their name and their products on our show.
Yes.
And then we go check it out. And once we verify it, we just do it. Yes. Some we know, some we don't know, but it's just beautiful. And when they report back that people were buying.
Yes.
So that's the whole idea.
It's the power of the show. Man.
Yeah.
Recommendation. So power of a good recommendation.
This is the show that throws light on what is good about this country. So Tet Handmade is the business we are throwing light on this week. It's a TVET venture and it's about footwear that stands out. So Tet Handmade is where quality meets style. They make great footwear, trendy slippers, crafted with care, comfort, and character. That's the word. Care, comfort, and character. It's one of the businesses that is teaching our young women how to make slippers.
Okay.
And in the Ghana Growth Program, those who successfully get selected for the Empower 360 are brought from across the country, kept in hotels. They are trained for a week on how to make sandals, how to do tie and dye, how to do any venture. And by the time they are leaving, they get all the tools they need, fully paid for, plus some raw materials to go and make the sandals and sell them. And guess what? We give them enough to make 50 slippers.
That's more than a startup.
And that is their capital.
Thank you. And then just go.
Don't get cash.
Yeah.
Make the slippers, and sell them.
Sell it.
That's your capital.
Use all the knowledge I gave you.
It's working like magic.
I love it.
It's working like magic.
Good.
So Tet Handmade is one of the companies working with us on making the slippers. And their number is 0244-169-757. 0244-169-757. Also, to give you the enterprise advantage tip for today, do my premiums increase as my age increases? Don't be scared. Don't be worried. Your premiums will not go up. Although your age determines your premiums, it's only at the sign-up stage. Once you sign up or buy a policy at a certain amount of money, your premiums don't increase as you age. It's only when you opt for an inflation protector that protects the value of your sum assured. Keep this tip in mind, brought to you by the Enterprise Group and their number 030-263-4777. Email info@myenterprisegroup.io. Enterprise, your advantage. Talking about advantage, here we are.
Yes.
Travel. In the course of your work, even on the Springboard Roadshow, you've traveled across this country. Through your eyes, describe Ghana.
Before I describe Ghana, I just want to give you a big shout out because there's one experience I had with you on my very first Springboard hosting experience at the conference center where we got into the hall. It was 2 minutes to 5. The room was a quarter full and you said, let's start.
That's it.
Let's go. And I took the instructions and then 10 minutes after 5, I realized that people were sending messages and telling their friends, Charlie, they've started. And I've used that principle in my hosting career. When it's time, we start. We don't care whether there's one person there, 100 or 1,000.
You know, we got sponsors just for that.
Yeah. Time constraints.
Just for the fact that we'll start a program 5 minutes to time.
I love it.
Yeah.
So shout out to you.
I receive it, cry.
Oh, there's only one disappointment I have with Springboard. You didn't send me to WA. I haven't been to Wapa West.
You know, it was scheduled though.
Charlie!
Twice.
I don't know what happened. I couldn't make it. I'm disappointed with myself, not even in Springboard. Myself.
We'll just curate one and send you.
I want to go to WA.
No, you can't be disappointed. No way.
Because I've been to every other region apart from Upper West.
Chairman, we'll go to WA.
Please. Thank you so much.
And you understand why is called WA.
I want to go to WA.
Lovely place.
Wonderful WA.
It's angelic.
I want
when
to
you
go
go to WA, it's like Is this a place? It's just so cool.
I want to go to WA.
So nice.
I want to go to WA.
Yeah, let's make it happen.
This experience was just something else. I mean, whether as a host or as a speaker, and then the interactions even before the event starts, go to the radio stations and have a chat with the people. I've met people today in 2025 who say, listen, you said XYZ in 2010 and my career has just gone on to a whole new level.
I receive that kind of text every week.
It's crazy.
Every week without fail.
It's crazy. So you have, I think you have an idea of the impact that this show is making on people's lives for almost 2 decades. They come and tell you that, look, you said this specific thing, pop, 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 and I applied.
And they remember. And they remember what you said.
And I'm just there and I'm looking, I said, well, okay, all right. Okay, tell me more, man. No, it's been wonderful. Tamale the first time I went to Tamale was with Springboard. I drove there. I loved it. Bolga too was just excellent. I don't know, just the vibe was just great, and you have people in the streets coming up to you. They're not as reserved as my Accra people. I know, right? So, are we familiar? But the Bolga guy will come and say, I know you.
Yeah. I'll tell you my enduring memory and my lesson from our trip to Tamale.
Yeah.
We were going to Fela FM.
Yes.
This was about 10 years ago. We had a 2:00 interview. And all I was thinking was, let's get to the studio, let's do the interview. And we were walking through the market at Tamale.
Yeah.
And everyone who sees you will say, who wants to be rich? And then you stop and say, is that a final answer?
All the way.
And you say, let's take a picture. And the calmness with which you will stop, take a picture, smile at them. How are you?
Yeah.
When I got to the studio, it struck me that, you know what? You had enjoyed the trip from the hotel to the studio more than me.
Because I kept talking to people.
No, I'm just being very honest with you.
Yes.
So I was like, how can you live life only thinking of the end?
Yeah.
And then somebody else enjoys the journey.
The hyphen is important.
Yeah. So, I've told you this before, and I'm going to tell you back again. This is a shout out to you as well. That is when I learned to pause and enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
And you know what? It didn't benefit me then as much as now that I'm a pastor.
Yes.
Because I paused to greet that person in church and take my time to look into their eyes and ask them, how are you? Yeah. And I learn more from that than standing on the pulpit talking to them, with them, at them.
It works. I got it from my parents.
It's unbelievable.
Both my parents were like that.
The connection, looking into people's faces. I got that from you. 100%.
Thank you. I got it from my parents.
Let's talk about that crazy experience driving to Tamale and back.
So I got the invitation to come to Tamale, and I had a plane flight ticket.
You offered a plane
But I
ticket.
said, you know what? I haven't driven to Tamale before, and I have this sense of adventure. Well, let's do it. So I broke the journey up. I looked at the distance. I said, I can't do this in one day. So I broke the journey up. Accra to Kumasi. Then I slept over. Early morning, 5:15, I was on the road, heading for Tamale. Back then, we didn't even have GPS. So I would just ask people, I'm on the right track.
Yeah.
I get to somewhere and I said, I'm going to Tamale, so
easy.
Go here. There's one stretch of the road I'll never forget. I mean, for 30 minutes, it was like the road was drawn with a ruler. I won't be surprised if it was Ekem Ferguson and the surveyors of old who came in a straight line for 30 minutes. Nobody coming, nobody overtaking. It's just savannah, one great straight line, and you're heading towards Tamale.
And you're driving alone.
I would flip through radio stations. So I'll be listening to different stations. When I'm in the Brown Half, listen to this, and I'll get to Tamale, Northern region, I listen, and I'm just going.
I was wondering why this guy wouldn't take the flight.
I wanted the experience of driving to Tamale. And I drove back again, the same way.
I remember. You could have left your car there.
My car was full with yams when I was leaving.
That was another one too.
I got to the police post going out of this flag. Stop! I came on. Kafui, wait! And the guy goes out there and brings a sack of yams and dumps it into my boot. Says, make it go.
That's it. We have arrested you.
The policeman gave me yams.
And give you yams, now you can go.
Oh man, Tamale was wonderful. Bolga was great.
What does it tell? I mean, I have amazing experiences about interacting with people in different regions and the beauty of the Ghanaian, the soul, the people.
Yeah.
You know how Kirsten described it? He says Ghana is not Accra.
Definitely.
No offense meant, but,
No,
but that if you live in one region alone and never travel,
That's not
you
your
wouldn't know
Ghana.
the beauty of Ghana.
No.
Would that be your
That
sense
is
of
my 100% my conclusion. Ghanaians, there's so much variety, but there are also so many common things that bind us together. And those commonalities are very important. We are really one people, and you feel it when you go, when you leave your area, and people, if you go to Tamale and you say Kaula, immediately you can speak some more Dabani, they connect with you. So I got the key phrases, thank you, please, how are you?
Easy.
And they just cling to you, they say, oh, the man is trying to connect with us, and then they connect with you, and it's just great. Springboard just opened me to so many parts of Ghana.
The first time a cab driver returned Campus wallet, he came to the hotel and brought it to her. And said hello.
Where was this?
On the show. Okay. We're like, hey, what is this?
Which region was this?
Tamale.
Oh, nice.
He just brought the wallet back. He left it in the car, just brought it and went away.
Oh,
smiling and happy.
Beautiful.
Some of those experiences are priceless.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a new Ghana, not much different from what we have, but let's recreate the kind of Ghana we want to have. You can call it an ideal Ghana.
Yes.
But what would you like to see? And how can we just make it happen?
I'm closing my eyes.
Okay.
I want a Ghana where people can step on zebra crossings without making a death wish. I saw this in Barcelona, where at every intersection, every junction, there was a zebra crossing. And if drivers were coming and they saw people stepping on it, they paused, let people cross. Too many needless deaths are happening on zebra crossings. One of our cameramen at GBC lost his own daughter.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Oh, no.
So sad. She had finished her service, everything.
No.
Right there. So it comes home to us. So I want, and Rwanda has it. So one of the Rwandan diplomats says, anytime her driver back home in Rwanda doesn't stop at the zebra crossing, she'll get an alert on her phone saying that this owner of this car has done this. I want a country where the roads are safe for children. I want a country that's clean. I went to Asinkushia a couple of months ago. I was blown away.
They're doing some great stuff there.
Bins everywhere. The town is clean. And the paramount chief says he doesn't just want his town to be the neatest in Ghana. He also wants them to be the happiest people in Ghana. So that's the kind of Ghana that I'm looking at. A country where the laws are respected. A country that is beautiful to live in. Beautiful environment makes all the difference. It changes the way you even think. So I want an environment that is it's controlled. And the king of Asinkushia, he said it today. He said every day is sanitation day, every day. So there has to be this conscious effort to keep the place looking beautiful, looking nice for the people. We shouldn't create a Ghana that is only good for foreigners who have dollars and pounds to spend. It should be good, first of all, for we, the people who live here. We're here. This is our land. So that's the kind of environment that I want, that will make our children thrive. We will not want people to hazard this journey across the desert to go to Europe, where they may not even want you, So a country that is beautiful for the people, where there's law and order. Because where there's law and order, things will thrive, That's the Ghana I want.
What first steps are you willing to take as Kafui Day?
Yeah.
So I can add my own as Albert Okran.
Good.
And then we can then challenge our viewers and listeners to see what can you also add. So let's talk about what you are adding, what you are making, what you are doing to make this Ghana possible.
So with the road stuff, at every zebra crossing, I stop to the annoyance of the guy behind me who doesn't see why I've stopped. But then again, I see that most of the zebra crossings are not even painted. So I think all the mayors in this town, in this country called Ghana, must just make sure that the zebra crossings are visible for the and then there must be serious education for people to just stop. The passengers are also part of the road, So just little thing. We don't need too much, Sanitation, they have to be bins. I traveled to my hometown over the weekend. Angonga, beautiful, neat, wonderful, well swept, everything. But I couldn't find bins to throw away my trash. I had to go back to my family house to throw the trash away. So we need more bins like it's happening in Asinkushia, where you have bins everywhere, painted in red, gold, green. And when we asked the leader, he said he wants people to know that to think about patriotism. They should think about Ghana anytime they want to misbehave with their rubbish. So just little simple things. And people say, oh, but people will go and the scrap guys will come for the bins. Listen, if you think about all the negatives and all the obstacles that will happen, you won't get anything done.
Absolutely.
I mean, I could step out and a meteor from heaven could, or wherever, outer space could fall on my head. But does that mean that I'm not going to stay out of my house?
Yeah.
There are risks, but let's look at the positive side of things. And people have done all this stuff before. We're not creating anything new. We're just looking at, I went to Rwanda for 9 days last year. When I came back, I had a headache. My re-entry into the Ghanaian airspace was traumatic because I was thinking about all the stuff I'm going to face in Ghana where people are shopping, selling in the streets, people are selling on pavements. It didn't happen in Rwanda. I went even to the villages. Nobody's selling on the pavements, nobody's selling in the streets. People are respecting traffic regulations. If you drink and drive, they catch you, you're going to police cells 5 days straight. You pay a fine. There's noise pollution laws that are respected. We went somewhere at midnight, the music went off. I asked, what's going on? He said, oh, noise pollution. We don't want to fall foul of the law. I said, what will happen? So the police will come here and they'll arrest the DJ. They'll arrest. And if the owner is not there, they'll arrest the DJ. When the owner comes to the police station, they'll release the DJ and they'll arrest him. So I want a country that works. And it's possible. It's happening here in Africa.
So you want to start by stopping yourself at the traffic lights.
Yes.
And you are doing it already.
And I'm doing that.
Okay, so let's use your platform as well to amplify the issue about painting the zebra crossings.
That's going to be my campaign.
I think that would be nice.
Yes, we have to paint the zebra crossings.
Kafui, I want a Ghana that a young person will grow up having confidence about dignified and fulfilling work and living out their God-given potential right here at home.
Right here.
And they'll have options.
Yes.
So when we say you're raising the next generation of African leaders and entrepreneurs, we want people to be able to dream something and build it or do it.
Yep.
And so our contribution is to do what we are doing right now. And I just am glad to tell you that as we speak this today, the number of young people that we have interfaced with and onboarded on this journey since the 1st of March 2023 has crossed 430,000 registered
430K
participants on the Ghana Growth Program.
Almost 500,000.
Yes, that's our target.
Wow.
And we'll achieve it ahead of schedule.
Congratulations. That's a big number, man.
It is.
That's like a whole town.
Town? What's the population of Ghana?
That's huge. 1,000 is a lot,
It's huge. And it's an army that can be reached in seconds via our network.
All connected, yeah.
Yes, all connected together.
Great.
And the more we see them, the more we place value on the young people of this country, a most underrated force. Yes. They built this program, created it, and they are managing it with us. That's why you have so many young people on this compound.
Impressive.
Let's close on fatherhood.
Yes. I'm glad we are bringing this because it connects to Springboard for me in a very, very personal way. Second week of March 2015, I was on a Springboard program in Eastern Region. The day before that, my dad had been, my dad was on an admission between January and March of that year. And then the doctors had told us that Daddy was coming home on Saturday. So the Friday before Springboard, I came home to Adenta, picked the place up for him. Mommy had passed already 2 years prior. And so my idea was that I'll come to Springboard. When I finish, I'll come home and say hello to Daddy. So I went to Springboard. I did what I had to do. And then as I was leaving Kooftown to head towards Adenta where my father lived, I got a call from my big brother, Senna. May he rest in peace. And then he says, you know what? You'll be tired. You go to Tema where we're living. And my wife also called and said, oh, you know what? Don't bother going to see the old man. Just continue to Tema. You can see him later. So I drove from Kooftown past Adenta where my father would have been. I went off to Tema, got home. My wife gave me my supper and everything. Says, waited for me to be relaxed and said, well, she has some news for me. I said, and so the old man is gone. I said, gone where? So he passed. I said, when? So he passed earlier on in the day. And I said, oh, wow. So if I had gone to Adenta, I wouldn't have met him in the house, And that for me was like a big loss because my dad was the kind of person who, first of all, he looked really intimidating because he was big and tall and didn't say much. But he was a very friendly person, a very people-oriented person. Till today, I still get calls from people who see me on TV and they said, I want to know whether you are related to Mr. Day because he was such a good boss to me. I said, I'm his son. So we can see it. he was the kind of person who, one day I remember we went out somewhere in town. On the way back, we passed through the ice cream joint on the ring road. It used to be called, is it number one or something? I don't know, some ice cream place. We enter the place. My father goes up to the lady behind the counter, and she has this big frown on her face. I think she's having a bad day. So my father says, good morning. The woman frowns, morning. My father smiles and says, give us 2 ice creams. Make them as beautiful as you. Wow. You should have seen the transformation of this woman's face. It was like a flower opening. And she had this huge smile, and she gave me my cone and heaped and heaped and heaped and heaped, and gave my father his cone, heaped. We went to sit down. Before I took a scoop, my father says, hold on, what did you just see there? I said, what do you mean, what did I just see? He said, what happened right now? I said, well, she gave us a lot of ice cream. Think beyond that. If you make people feel good and appreciated, they will do virtually anything for you. Wow. That's one lesson I learned from him, and other lessons as well. So I really miss him. But I know that he's in a good place, and he taught me stuff that I'm passing on to my children now. And so the chain continues.
Isn't it a beautiful time to dedicate this show to all fathers that teach their children
100%
lessons around ice creams
and wraps
and how you can get your ice cream heaped by saying nice things to the people.
Make it as beautiful as you.
It's a beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day.
And it's a happy Father's Day to all men.
Father's Day.
Oh, my God. Oh, all right.
Father's Day. Father's Day. Happy Father's Day.
Nice.
This is for you.
Oh, wow.
Kafui.
Thank you.
You guys are kind of.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you for everything that you've done.
Oh,
for
thank you.
being behind the scenes, encouraging us, touching the lives of young people. We want to say thank you.
Thank you so much.
A very big Father's Day.
Nice. Oh, wow.
That's the boss woman herself.
Oh, can I hold this?
Yes, you can.
Wow, this is like taking you to the gym, man. Yeah. Some cross. Oh, comfort.
Happy Father's Day.
Very much. Oh, wow.
Enjoy yourself.
Oh, yes. This is the healthiest papa I've ever received. The healthiest, man.
Always agriculture, agribusiness, anything better. These agricultural products.
My vitamin C is going to go up, man.
Indeed.
Thank you so much. Oh, happy Father's Day to you too.
Yeah, I know, right? So on behalf of Team Springboard, just to celebrate fatherhood and to say that as you recount the story of what your father told you, you represent many other people who today are reflecting on the beauty of having either a father biological or a father figure that speaks beautifully into your life. So even as we reflect on the Ghana that we want, let's throw in one more paragraph that let's have a Ghana in which we have wonderful men like you, like your father, like all the men out there listening to this show. Happy Father's Day to all of you.
To all of you. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, so stay with us as we wrap up on this incredible conversation about changing narratives. This is another way to change narratives.
Definitely so. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Present us, Kafui.
First of all, thank you for this wonderful gift. Thank you for the opportunity to be part of Springboard. I've learned a lot on the journey with you, and I like the evolution of the brand and the things you're doing. Young people are great. It's a long way from where we started, and keep doing your stuff. And let this be a springboard for greater success.
Indeed.
Yeah,
That's the way.
May Ghana grow.
Indeed.
Because Hope Day.
May Ghana grow. All right, thank you so much, Kafui. Let's do this again. I mean, this is a permanent seat for you. Anytime.
One time.
Just call the young and your trainers.
Thank you. Maybe I'll wear orange ones and just make my director angry because he doesn't understand why she wears colored trainers.
The fashion trends these days are just out of this world. Your jackets and then your trainers.
Yes, indeed.
And green socks.
It's not easy. Yeah. Thank you so much.
This has been another super edition of Springboard. That's for the cameras. For those who are watching on television, that's Kafui's trainers. All right, so this has been another instructive edition of Springboard Virtual University, just bringing us a new narrative about Ghana, a beautiful country, just talking about what we've done together in trying to redefine agriculture in the minds of young people, and even more importantly, also celebrating all men on Father's Day. My name is Albert Okran, thanking you on behalf of my boss Comfort and the team here at the Springboard Roadshow Foundation. We do this in partnership with MTN Ghana, the Enterprise Group, and the Ghana Growth Program, a collaboration between MasterCard Foundation and Springboard. Our media partners, Joy 99.7 FM, Joy News TV, and the Graphic Communications Group. My name is Albert, saying God bless you, and God bless you.